Today's lesson is Advanced Pre-Algebra, Unit 2, Inequalities, Lesson 3, Applications of Inequalities. The homework that goes with this is page 11, numbers 1 through 3, plus the worksheet. And here's some other information for you. Now, you're going to want to, I will read these, and then you're going to want to pause the video and record them. This sheet tells you some words that could be used in a word problem or an application that would indicate which inequality. So this one is less than. So you could say is less than or under. Greater than is greater than or more than. So pause and copy those. Now, down here, less than or greater to, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. These are a little bit more complicated. So they could be the basic is less than or equal to, no more than, is at most, is not greater than. So think about this, is at most. This is what screws kids up, because is at most. If I said to you, you're allowed to spend at most $10, like if your parents said that to you, wouldn't that mean you could spend less than or equal to $10, but you couldn't spend $10.01? That's the one that really messes kids up because they think most is greater than, but it says is at most. Now over here, greater than or equal to, is greater than or equal to is the obvious. Then is at least, is not less than. Well, is at least. If I said you have to spend at least $10, wouldn't that be $10 or more? So greater than or equal to. So pause and record these. Now, you want to go to page 4 in your note packet. It says, a school auditorium has 300 seats. If 89 people have tickets for the school play, what is the maximum number of how many more people can attend? Write and solve an inequality. Well, we don't know how many more people can attend, so that's going to be our variable. So let x equal how many more can go. So let's think about this. We already sold 89 tickets, and x is how many more can go. So we want x plus 89 to be, we only have 300 seats in the auditorium. So doesn't that mean that has to be less than or equal to 300? So if I solve this, I subtract 89 from both sides, and I have x is less than or equal to 211. So our answer is at most 211 more people. All right, Jeanette wants to tile the floor of a room in her house. The square tiles measure 3/4 of a foot on each side. The room is 10 feet wide. Write and solve an inequality to determine how many tiles Jeanette should buy to form one row. So let x equal the number of tiles in one row. Well, each tile is 3/4 of a foot long, and we need the room to be 10 feet wide. So 3/4 x, because each one is 3/4 of a foot, has to be greater than or equal to 10. Because if it's less than 10 feet, we wouldn't have enough, there would be a gap. So how do I solve this? Multiply both sides by 4/3, and I'll have x is greater than or equal to 40/3, which is 13 1/3. So we need 14 tiles for one row. Because you can't buy 13 1/3, and if you buy 13, you're going to have a gap. All right, example 7. Suppose you had D dollars in your bank account. You spent 20, but have at least 39 left. How much money did you have initially? So let x equal the original amount, because that's what we started with. So my pen's not working real well today. So you started with X, and it said you spent 20, so minus 20, and you have at least 39 left. So at least 39 is greater than or equal to $39. So solve this by adding 20 to both sides, and we'll have X is greater than or equal to 59. So we started with at least. At least $59. Could have started with more, but 59 was the minimum. All right. Your class hopes to collect at least 425 cans of food for the annual food drive. There were 188 cans donated the first week, 86 more the second week. How many cans must be collected the third week to meet or surpass your goal? Write it and solve an inequality. So what do we're looking for the cans in the third week. So let X equal the number of cans in the third week. So let's figure out how many cans we got. So we have X the third week plus 188 the first week plus 86 the second week, and we want to collect at least 425. So greater than or equal to 425. When I solve this, I want X plus 274 has to be greater than or equal to 425. Subtract 274 from both sides. Now remember, we don't need to switch our inequality unless we're multiplying or dividing by a negative. So, at least, we need at least 151 more cans. Last example. The result of 15 subtracted from a number n is at least 8. All right. So they defined our variable for us, the number n. So the result of 15 subtracted from n, so n minus 15, we're subtracting 15 from n, is at least 8, greater than or equal to 8. Add 15 to both sides. And we have n is greater than or equal to 23. Any number (23) or larger.